And hello, everybody. Welcome back. So nice to be together and be doing this all together. I really enjoy this. So this is super nice for me. So hello, and I hope you've been having a lovely, lovely last week. What I wanted to talk to you about today is under the title of healthy habits. And that could really relate to everything in our lives. It's really beautiful to start to become aware of how life and the choices we're making in our life are affecting us, and how we aren't necessarily a victim to it. We actually can make choices and change in a direction that is better for us. Sometimes we don't want to change things, or we do things on purpose that are moving away from what we want and our desire. But it's really nice to just start playing and being aware with the choices we're making and the habits that we already have and the habits we can create. Now, for me, what I really like to look at is even like the food, the actions I have throughout the day, the things that I'm doing, the choices I'm making, the people I'm around, the conversations I'm having. All of this influences us and influences how we feel. It influences how easy our day can be. It influences how our happiness, our peace. The absolute truth is that peace is always here in this moment. But we can start creating healthy habits that actually move us towards that peace, to embrace more peace in our daily life. Now, in the practice of meditation that I do, we ask everybody, what is your highest desire? What is it that you really, really, really want? And it usually doesn't come back to people's things or objects in our lives. It usually comes back to the fundamental desires that all of humanity has, is the simple things like happiness and peace, health, connection with God, meaning. They want to live a meaningful life. My highest desire when I was asked that question a long time ago was purpose. I wanted to know that I was moving towards my purpose, living in my purpose. I felt very confused about the jobs I was having, although my work life. And sometimes I felt confused about my friendships, conversations, my interests. Like, were they actually my life purpose? What footsteps were I taking, and what footsteps were I going to leave behind me? So when you start to question things like that, you start to perhaps move in a different direction with what we're choosing to create. And we can create on a daily basis. We can make choices for our peace and happiness, our excitement, our purpose, things that are good for us, things which are bringing us joy. We can see the things that we're choosing for out of habit or out of routine, which we can actually change, but we might start to see that they're not bringing us joy, that we have been doing them out of habit. We've been doing them because we got told to. We've been doing them because the people around us invite us to, or have expectations from us, or we believe there's expectations, so we think we have to. That's all mind created. That's all in our head. But it's so beautiful to start questioning these things, and then realizing you have the strength and the power and the ability to just start making little adjustments and little corrections along our choices throughout the day, to actually start moving in the direction which is purposeful for you, which is bringing the sense of wonderment and excitement into your day, that is making you feel like you're fulfilling your needs and your desires at the end of the day. And these little adjustments over time just keep growing and growing until that you can make bigger adjustments, and just realizing that old habits can change and old beliefs can change, and that these new desires and habits can start to be instilled and are actually quite easy. And that you have the ability to actually live in your truth, in your strength, in your peace, in your happiness. And what influences you? What do you need to change so that these healthy habits are making your life more conscious, more tailor-made for you, and more about reaching your highest desire or realizing your highest desire exists. For me, it was a meditation practice. The practice I do is called the Bright Path, and there's a link below. What it gave me was tools to keep making those healthy changes and to realize different directions were very easy. You know, there's a habit of how we see life. There's a habit of how we think. There's a habit of what I do. And you might be caught up in it thinking that is the way. That is the only way. You have no choice. But how freeing is it to just kind of take a moment for yourself and realize you can start making little changes and realizing that these little choices and decisions that you can make to make something more about what you want and move towards your desire of peace and happiness, that it's possible. And step by step by step, you start to realize that you can. The meditation practice that I do and the tools that I use made it so obvious that it wasn't always about making the choices out here, but definitely seeing the thought patterns in my head that were limiting me and telling me no. And then, or judging, comparing, creating chaos or anxiety within me, creating even depression, you know, feeling helpless within me. And it's so nice to have a tool that will just let you see that and then choose for what the tool is that changes our attention. And then those limitations, those thoughts that create the anxiety, the thoughts that create the depression, all of that stuff can just fall away naturally as we shift our attention and we start to create these healthy habits, which we can start living in. And then they just become natural. And that's what I love about a habit. A habit is something we've done and it becomes the usual, right? So let's change that and start doing something else. And then that becomes the usual. That's what the meditation does. It changes your attention so that what we've been thinking about and believing to be our reality, like this is who I am, this is what's going on. These tools just help us shift it. And then that becomes what we see or think or impose on our situation or on our emotions even, or how we're feeling. And then slowly that just changes and we start to create a new habit. And if it's that simple, we all have the ability to do it. We just need to play with it and allow step by step for these healthy habits to grow. And then before you know it, you've got a new normal. This is who you are, this person that's just experiencing life differently, experiencing the purpose that you're yearning for, experiencing the happiness or the peace you're dreaming about. You know, life can be so chaotic. There's a lot going on for everybody, but we can have that foundation of contentment and goodness and happiness while all these changes are happening. And I love that. I love that there's a choice. And I want for you to know that there's a choice too. Well, I will see you again soon. And thank you for your time. I love you.